regular board meeting at 3:08 p.m. Let's have a roll call, please.
Director Rabu.
Here.
Director Peoples.
Here.
Director Gleek.
Here.
Director Sykes.
Here.
Chair Gilbert.
Here. Okay, we have a quorum. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the January 11th regular board meeting. Those were sent out for review. Are there any questions or corrections?
Hearing none, I move that we approve the meeting minutes from January 11th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Director Peoples, seconded by Director Gleet. Will you poll the board, please?
Director Rabu.
Aye.
Director Peoples.
Aye.
Director Gleek.
Aye.
Director Sykes.
Aye.
Chair Gilbert.
Aye. The minutes are approved. Next on the agenda is Resolution 24 LDC 02, approving a loan to Artifox LLC. Zach?
Good afternoon, everybody, and happy 314 Day. This resolution is for an approval of an EDA loan in the amount of $100,000 to Artifox LLC. This is a business that is a furniture company that was affected by the supply chain issues and had many increases of cost after the pandemic starting about 2021 and on. And they're seeking to pivot from that through new partnerships with manufacturers and using these funds for working capital and inventory to be able to do that. Here with us today are the owners of the business, Sarah and Daniel Mirth. I'll pass it over to them. If you guys could go ahead and share with us a little bit about your business and how these funds will help.
Absolutely. Hi, I'm Sarah.
I'm Dan.
Yeah. And so we submitted a proposal to focus these funds towards rebuilding part of our supply chain. We saw during 2021 and 2022, we saw raw materials and labor costs triple in the matter of 12 to 18 months, as well as marketing costs double at the same time. And so what you're seeing in the proposal is that there was a period of time where there were losses on the books, but that leading up to that, we really have had a lot of profitability and success online with our furniture sales. We've shipped to 17,000 customers since 2017, and we're looking to rebuild some of that infrastructure in a profitable way to just get up past that COVID supply chain disruption.
Yeah, thank you. Are there any questions from the board members for me or the owners?
And we looked at this at loan committee and pretty much decided there was no collateral available, and we did not have numbers at that time that showed the turnaround, which appears to be happening. We have the February numbers to show here, and also the businesses offering an additional guarantor.
Correct.
It's still pretty highly leveraged. I was excited to see if you all noticed in the memo that was included, that they have been able to redo some of their loans with the Bank of Springfield and reduce their monthly payments, which will certainly help with the cash flow for the business. So what we're looking at is different. The committee have the opportunity for them to come to the full board with this additional information to see if this is something that we were willing to do. This is a 5-year loan. It's a short.
Laura, you're cutting in and out.
Long.
Yeah.
We can't hear you.
shorter term than we have seen for some.
I
Any
did have a,
questions from any of the other directors with regard to
I
this
did have a question.
project?
Yes, Laura, I did have a question about the imports, and I noted that that you have found a particular supplier in Vietnam. Do you have like a U.S. Customs import bond that you work with, and is there going to be any complication bringing in things from Vietnam? Because my understanding is that the anti-dumping and countervailing duties are significant for suppliers in Vietnam and several other countries. I'm just wondering what your take is on that.
No.
Before you speak, Chair Gilbert got kicked off.
Oh,
So just wait to respond.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she lives in the same neighborhood as me, and we've been having internet problems. That's why I'm sitting at my desk and not at home where I like to work. So she like lives one block from me, so it's a neighborhood thing.
Bummer.
We were wondering if the tornadoes were going to start right as this meeting happened, but looks like it'll be later tonight.
Yeah.
Are we waiting for Laura to come back on?
Yes, we are.
I believe so,
Okay.
yeah.
Linda, maybe you could check with her and maybe she could join by phone if she's not able to get her internet back up and running.
Yeah, I'll see what she's doing.
Thank you.
Here she comes. It might help if she turns off her camera. I'll let you guys recommend that though.
Hmm.
She's back.
Okay, I think I'm back on. I'm sorry.
Okay, great. We waited for you.
I don't know what kicked me out, but I'm back. Somebody was having a question as I got
Mhm.
off.
That was me.
Did you get that resolved?
No, we were waiting for you for the answer.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Okay, so it was in regards to Vietnam and import taxes and customs and things like that.
Yeah, and so I actually have a lot of experience with that. I'm also a minority owner in another company, and all of our manufacturing is done nearby in Guangdong, China. And so we have not had any major issues with this. There are certain types of products that they get more or less concerned about, but so far we're not seeing any of those major concerns arise. And based on like what we can do, worst case scenario is run through my other company in China. And so we can just kind of piggyback off of some of those shipments, and that would be a worst case scenario, but we're not seeing any major issues right now. And we should be getting our samples soon, which will help us kind of start to see where there's any potential customs issues. But so far, no major concerns have arisen.
And we actually just had a call with that supply chain or the team with that manufacturer last night, and the samples are complete. They've all passed testing standards and are shipping to us next week. So all of that is very much moving forward and about to hit go.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yes.
Are there other questions?
I had a question about your advertising expenses, one of your bigger expenses, and just kind of go through your strategy and how you evaluate the effectiveness of that.
Absolutely. So what I would say is with online, digital ads are a lot of what companies start with. And so what we've seen through COVID, those prices increased significantly, which is why you're seeing it as such a large line on the balance sheet or the profit and loss. What we're really trying to do now is reduce some of the primary focus on that and let it be more of a backup sales channel while we're building out organic content, owned audiences, channels that you can sell into without it being a pay per click kind of model, and let that be more of a supporting role of the marketing strategy. We've also really started to focus in on retail partnerships and trade program as well. We're seeing our trade customers buy in bulk, buy their average order value significantly higher, which reduces that cost of marketing versus the order placement.
On top of that, we're also adding affiliate marketing, which is where we only have to pay if the sales happen. So through those retail partners and the affiliate programs, we don't actually have to pay up front and then hope we get it back. We only pay in what is sold. So then there's no.
It's essentially a pay for success rather than pay up front before the sales come in.
Okay, good.
I have
There, Prabhu, you had a question?
yeah, just and I apologize if it's written somewhere. I've been scrolling to try and see if I could understand it better, but since you're here, I might as well just ask.
Absolutely.
So just trying to understand the story a little better. So I noticed a significant increase in revenue in the coming years, and then margin as well is going down. But your debt service is, at what point does it become positive? It says the coverage ratio was negative for a few years. When does it turn? And trying to understand how you're going to basically support that growth and lower that cost at the same time and be able to cover your debt service.
Absolutely. Well, so I would say we actually started in 2014 and we were profitable every year up until 2021. And so what you can see with the reports that we submitted for this process were those down years from the COVID supply chain issues. We always have operated lean prior to that, but it does take time and cost to rebuild a supply chain infrastructure. And we already saw 30% marketing ROI increases in the last year, and we were able to close that gap significantly. And I believe we submitted, as Laura was saying, the February numbers where we're closing the gap even further. So we're increasing our working capital by working with the SBA. We're also increasing our margins with these new suppliers.
Other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move approval. Sites.
Is there a second?
Chris, I think you're on mute if you tried to say something.
Of course, and I made it sound all cool and stuff. I'll second. I'll second so we can get to any other questions or take the vote.
Okay. My only it's been moved and seconded. Before we poll the board, can we make this if we approve it contingent on confirming all these terms with the Bank of Springfield and the kinds of changes that we indicated in the memo? Several of those haven't taken place yet. We just want to confirm that those are going to happen.
Absolutely. And I actually spoke with them earlier today. So all of that is being wrapped up. It should be completely done by next week.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. So we have a motion by Director Lee, Director Seitz. Second by Director Peoples. Will you poll the board, please?
Director Rabu,
Aye.
Director Peoples,
Aye.
Director Gleek,
Aye.
Director Seitz,
Aye.
Chair Gilbert.
Aye. Okay. You're approved. Good luck.
Thank you all very much.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you to the staff for working on this and following through on the confirmations. Okay. Next on the agenda is Resolution 24 LDC 03, approving to a loan to RHPB Investments LLC. That's you again, Zach.
Yes, so this is a loan for 200,000 through our EDA program for the purchase of a building in partnership with Enterprise Bank. The building would be located at 5850 Delmar Boulevard, kind of just east of the Delmar Loop, and it will be occupied by Playtime Academy Children Development Center LLC. Unfortunately, the owner, Sharon, is not here with us today to speak more to it, but I'm happy to answer any questions about the credit memo. Also, Kevin Wilson is here, who worked with Sharon on this project. So hopefully between the two of us, we can answer any questions that you may all have.
Thank you, Kevin, for being available again. You were with us in loan committee as well.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Zach, you want to briefly describe this loan a little more and tell us what we're looking at?
Yes. So this loan, with purchasing this new building, it's their second location for their daycare. Their first location is located, sorry, I'm trying to find the specific address, but it's up in, yeah, yes. And so with this being their second location, they're hoping to utilize the space in that area to be able to not only expand with that, but also expand hopefully to a 24-hour childcare center for supporting parents who have non-traditional schedules. That way they can come in during their work hours that maybe at night or any time like that. The facility can work with children age 6 months all the way up to 12 years. And they have partnerships with local schools, particularly the public or St. Louis public school system, with kids to kind of help with moving kids there and helping with getting more kids into their programs. What's specifically unique about this particular childcare center is that they have a high focus on training their employees, working with them to get certified. And that way they'll hopefully then stay with them and work with them even more. So that way they can help increase the amount of kids that are coming in. The previous location could go up to 60 children there. And then this new location is estimated to be up to about 30 kids. So any questions on anything with that?
The owner was at loan committee and talked briefly about some of the concerns we had about them being able to attract enough staff. You hear that daycare is given, they're having a lot of turnover, but the advantage of being able to help them get their certification, which is qualifies them for, I think, higher salary, is a real positive. Kevin, did you have anything to add?
The only thing I would add is that this deal is also in one of the demonstration areas that is important to SLDC's, economic justice plan. Also, we'll be working with Sharon Patterson moving forward on workforce issues, coaching and counseling, things of that nature, to make sure that she continues on this trajectory of success. So I think she's got a good program, and I think we can coach her all the way to making sure that this second location is awesome also.
Seems like a prime location, close to the university, close to some of the hospitals, good transportation down Delmar and Metrolink station right there. So hopefully this would be positive. Are there any other
Absolutely.
questions from board members?
No.
So it looks like she's the sole owner. And if I read this right, does she have 2 of her kids working in there with her?
Her family does work with her on this. I don't believe it's her kids that are working. I believe it's siblings.
Siblings?
Sorry, let me
So if she gets run over by a train, somebody can pick it up and keep
Good
it
to
going.
go.
Potentially, and if you notice too, I included with the life insurance calculation that even with that in mind, the collateral is in place to be able to cover anything with that. So that's when we determined not to add additional life insurance as a requirement. Kind of using more. I mean, this is not an SBA program, but like to use the SBA's calculation for that, since it seems to be pretty standardized and helpful for their purposes, especially when it comes to commercial real estate.
It looked like there was a pretty significant increase in revenue in 23 compared to 22. Is there any explanation for just had more kids or?
Yeah, besides just getting more kids, I don't believe there's a specific reason.
We did talk at the meeting. Don had a question about a daycare near there who had recently closed down, and she confirmed that they had gotten several kids from the closed down daycare, and they're anticipating this one will be attractive to some of those parents who have had to look for other places because of its proximity.
I made a note that on the playtime balance sheet, there was I'm trying to find it. I had written down due from officer, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Was there a pretty big number?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Or 621 and looked like it happened in 22. Is there she take money out or something? And
yeah, and I think that's how they put it on the balance sheet as far as that, as opposed to
opposed to a
typically,
distribution.
right.
So she took that money out, I guess, for whatever reason.
Yes.
I guess she had the cash to do that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the business itself has been increasing in liquidity. So even after the contribution here, they'll still be up from 2023 than they were in 2022.
Hopefully your tax guy accounted for that properly.
Yeah. Okay. Are there any other questions? Hearing none, is there a motion?
So moved. Director Gleat.
Second, Director Peoples.
Been moved by Director Gleat, seconded by Director Peoples. Will you poll the board, please?
Director Rabu,
Aye.
Director Peoples,
Aye.
Director Gleat,
Aye.
Director Sykes,
Aye.
Chair Gilbert.
Aye. Okay, the motion passes. Okay. Let's see, before we go to the status of accounts, we had a request to consider a subordination. Linda, are you covering that? This
Yeah,
just
unless
came in the
Daryl wants
last,
to, but
this just came in the last hour or so. I didn't see it until I was setting up to get on. I don't know if everybody else had a chance to look at that request.
yeah, we didn't know anything about the request until late yesterday afternoon, and we've been working all morning to try to get the additional information to figure out what the request is all about. But this is in connection with the EDA loan that LDC made to CMT Roofing back in 2022, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
They are proposing to refinance a lot of the debt that the company had, and they've asked LDC to subordinate to the deed of trust that St. Louis Community Credit Union would be putting on the property. So I kind of tried to lay out the facts as I know them, basically in the memo. But it looks like they're trying to take out a fairly sizable loan, $1,360,000, that would have a 5-year term and an interest rate of 6.5%, 6.51%. And that would pay off the first deed of trust on the commercial building. It would also be paying off the owner's residence that I think was used as collateral to support loans that they had received from Justine Peterson. And that money would also pay off the loans to Justine Peterson and Great Rivers Capital. I think they had entered into some sort of a loan buyout with that to reduce the amount of debt that was owed to them.
I think somebody from CMT is available to answer. I saw something pop up.
Let me chime in a little bit first, Laura, before they come
Okay,
on
Daryl.
board. I spoke to Parker Elliott, who's the owner's son who handles the finances. And like you said, this was rather quickly handled. We knew that there's something was in the works, but we didn't see anything until the SNDA came in yesterday afternoon. I spoke to the lenders, St. Louis, Alex Fenoy with St. Louis Community Credit Union. Alex advised that what this will allow them is over $400,000 reduction in debt. Justine Peterson has agreed to take a haircut on their loans. And the goal, like I said, is to improve their cash flow because one of the things that St. Louis Community Credit Union is requiring, they're establishing a covenant of debt service coverage of 1.20. And they feel by implementing this consolidation, CMT should have no problem in reaching that debt service coverage. While this is a totally unusual situation, because basically what we're doing is they're paying off residential debt and basically putting it under a corporate umbrella. Then I know that's totally unusual request. And if CMT's on, I'll let them chime in.
Okay, I don't know where he is, if he's on the other side.
And
so this is Kevin Wilson. I'm sorry, I'm just jumping in here. I feel a little responsible about this deal also. So SLDC had asked me to help Corey put this deal together. I pitched it to St. Louis Community Credit Union in partnership with SLDC to make this happen. I would say that the debt from Justine Peterson was unreasonably high. This allows this company to move forward, to cash flow better. And I do believe it puts the LDC in a better position to get repaid on its loans moving forward. So, but I would also say that, a lot of this is negotiable. We can make it happen, but I know this is a desired outcome for management. So happy to help out in any way we can to pull this deal over the finish line.
Does this get Justine Peterson out of this altogether?
Yes.
Justine and Great Rivers, they're gone.
Yes, that's correct.
Get them out. Totally. Okay.
But are they discounting their indebtedness?
Yeah. The chat indicated that the gentleman from CMT is on the other side. He can't get, he's not on as a panelist, so he can't respond. Is there a way to move him over?
I can allow him to talk. Is that what you all want?
Yes.
Which one is he?
iPhone.
Oh, is he the one on the go to more?
Look at the chat. He gave the information.
He's iPhone 1.
Hi, this is Parker Elliott from CMT. I can now speak.
Thank you. Okay, so can you tell us what this will do for you, this restructuring? and how this will make, improve your cash flow?
Yes, so right now we have about $2.5 million of debt on our balance sheet with Justin Peterson, Great Rivers. This debt is cumulative of a couple refinances when banks like over 10 years ago discharged our debt. And so on here we've had interest rates of 10 to 20%. And with this, we will be able to refinance all of the debt for $500,000 going to Great Rivers and 10% of net profits for the next 10 years, which is definitely going to be a reduced amount. And this should not affect in any way our loan that we had with EDA, SLDC, as right now EDA is in second position on the office. So in the lenses of EDA, it's just going to be secured on the office building with St. Louis Community Credit Union is less than the current lien on the office building with the current lender, as it's been 2 years of mortgage payments since we obtained the loan with EDA. So we will significantly reduce our debt service from about $22,000 a month to $10,500 a month. And we've proven that, we can sustain our current debt service, but obviously it's much more favorable now. And we've been in negotiations with Justin Peterson and Great Rivers for about a year now, having this in the works. And also to further add, this is being secured by Corey's personal residence, which is already secured on all of the loans as well as the office, but it's an 80% loan to value requirement. So we'll basically ensure that in the event of the worst case scenario, that we'll go from negative equity to positive equity just by, securing this refinance.
Are there questions from the directors?
So how much do you owe Justine Peterson right now?
Right now, we owe Justin Peterson $2.5 million. Of that, $1 million doesn't mature until 2054, and payments don't start on it until next year. So that's going to continue accruing interest, but that's included in this refinance for the $500,000 cash outright and then 10% of net profits for the next 5 years.
Okay. And are there new appraisals that have been completed on the commercial property?
Yes. Yes, we ordered appraisals in January. I can send those over right away, but the appraisals support the 80% loan to value requirement.
For the $1,360,000, right?
Correct.
Do we currently have a second on the house?
No, you guys don't have any liens on the house. The liens are only on the office building, and you guys are second to our current mortgage lender. And at the time, we had a $630,000 balance, and we currently have a $575,000 balance with them.
Okay. Would it be okay for a second on the house if we do this?
I'm sorry?
If we agree to do this, can we put a second on the house?
No, and I don't believe that that's necessary, especially given that nothing's going to change in SODC's position except for who you guys are behind. But now it'll actually be more favorable to SODC considering that the amount of the first position is less than original first position. So I don't think that's necessary to do.
It looks like the amount of the first would be higher than what we were behind now. Right. Is that correct, Parker? Because now we would be behind 900 and something thousand, depending on how they draft it, as opposed to the 598 or whatever that we're behind now.
No, incorrect.
So there would be an increase in the first.
Incorrect. 600,000 of that is going to be secured by the house, and then the difference is going to be secured by the office. But whatever that is, only $150,000 of our $300,000 loan with SODC is secured by the office, with the other half being secured by the vehicles that were purchased at loan closing. So the value of the the value of the office will still be far exceeding the loan balances on both the new loan and our loan with SODC. And
I'm not sure that's what the subordination agreement says. I was trying to read through that, and that was really not very clear. I think we need to get a better handle on the capital stack on this and what things are going to
Mhm.
look like after the fact. I think there's still a lot of questions, and I, personally, I don't like getting something an hour before the meeting that where the details are still not all ironed out.
And
And being
so,
asked to do this in a hurry. You've known about this, your documents, your letters are dated from January. Why are we being asked to approve this with not enough time to really consider it and evaluate it?
And
I
so
think
I definitely would like you
table
guys'
it.
evaluation on the matter. My understanding was that the subordination agreement was sent out a while ago. It's our bad as well as the title companies that it wasn't handled prior to. But the capital stack right now is much better than the current capital stack at the original closing. I feel no problem sending you over all of the information. You can also connect with the lender working on this, but essentially nothing is changing except for the $2.5 million that we initially had on the books is being reduced to $500,000 and 10% of net profits over the next 5 years. That's the only thing that's changing. And on you guys' perspective, it's just who you guys are behind. It's a change of a lender, and that's all.
Anyone else have questions?
Well, I mean, they're doing two separate loans. Is that what they're doing? One on the
No.
building, house?
Well, there's
No,
there's two title policies.
it's one
So how much
commercial loan, two
trust fund-
properties being
commercial
secured.
property? How much are they going to record a deed of trust for on the commercial property?
It looks like $1.3 million.
Right.
No,
Put
that's
this
But then
in
the
a
incorrect.
title
different
work said
position.
952,000 or something, so it's confusing.
So my question is, what deadline are we pushing up against? Why can't we just table this and bring it to the next board?
Well, they're trying to get this accomplished as soon as possible.
Yeah, but it's also our liability to get it done right as soon as possible. So I normally don't chime in on things like this, but I feel like it's getting shoved down our throat. And no one's explained to me what deadline we're up against. Do they have a closing date already set? Is there some hard deadline that
Letter said
forfeits
the
this
end of
deal?
February, so that's obviously been extended, but we don't have any documentation to that effect. The
And
original
so
letter
the
that
closing was initially scheduled for today at noon, which is why it was being rushed. Again, it wasn't my understanding that this wasn't in the works already. I thought that there was already conversations being had between SODC and St. Louis Community Credit regarding the subordination agreement. So again, that's our bad, but it's my understanding. I didn't understand that, we would have to reapproach the board. I understand obviously we would have to notify the board, but especially given the terms, it's much favorable to SODC to, do this with Lynette.
Well, I'd like to be able, for our analysts and our legal team to be able to support that. And, I don't have that. I don't feel that right now from looking at what I've looked at. I would support tabling this. Let's get a better handle on the capital stack and what's going to happen here. And if we need to do a
Special board meeting.
special board meeting, just on a phone meeting or a quick Zoom meeting to get this reconsidered after we've had a chance to analyze it, I'm okay with that.
Hi, this is Corey Elliott, also
Definitely.
CMD. Is it okay to speak?
Sure.
Okay, great. So yes, we did have a loan closing that was originally scheduled for today. And I did speak with St. Louis Community Credit. I know that at the very beginning of the start of this to try to finish it, I know that they reached out to Economic Partnership to see if we could even do the subordination agreement. And again, we did think that, that was all done until today when we, were ready for title and we didn't have the subordination agreement. Just to reiterate what Parker said, it puts us in a better position as a company and really reduces the debt and allows us to stabilize, grow our company, and do all the things that we need to do. As you know, we're current on your loans. We haven't had an issue with that. And really, this just allows us to reset some very high interest debt so that we can grow our company and really do all the things that we want to do. Again, as he said, it doesn't change for you all. You are still in second position. It's just that it's not with the current lender, it is with SLC3.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Do we have is there a motion out there to take
What
either table or
is
approve
what
or
the
whatever?
deed of trust is going to be for? I don't. If
Yeah,
they're
I
in,
just don't think
sounds about it.
we can do it unless we see the final terms, and maybe that's something that can be put together within a matter of a few days, and we can do a special meeting to move this along. But I don't think we're in a position personally to approve it at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
We had a motion to table. Is there a second?
Second.
I think
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to table this until we can get an additional information to give us confidence in what the capital stack is going to be and where we are in that situation with our collateral. And we will entertain having a special board meeting before our next April meeting in order to deal with this if we can get our legal and financial team satisfied on this. So we have a motion and a second to table. I guess we need to poll the board. We can't hear anybody polling us.
Sorry, I was on mute. Director Rabu,
Aye.
Director Peoples,
Aye.
Director Gleek,
aye.
Director Sites,
Aye.
Chair Gilbert.
Aye. Okay. So let us know, when you guys are satisfied with what you've seen, and then we can try to get something scheduled. It shouldn't take long once we have that information. Okay, moving along. Chris, you're on for status of accounts.
You got it.
I have to jump off, guys. I'm sorry. There's no more action items or votes, are there?
Correct.
Oh, you should be fine.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you soon.
All right.
All right. Here we go. So you all received in the email the financials that I'm about to talk to you about. It's for the 8 months ending February 2024. You had almost 3,000 in revenue. We did pay out $1,200 for a legal fee opinion letter from an attorney regarding an SBA application. That gives you just under 1,800 in net income for the month. Still in the negative, that 108,793.97 in negative, but as we get to the financial, I'll show you that at least that's trending in the right direction. We did not close any loans this month. We did just close Seed Sprout and Spoon SBA deal, a $350,000 loan just today or just this month for sure. So I'll report to that, hold that, and I'll report to you that next month. But the portfolio consists of 82 loans, over 11 million in principal outstanding on those 82. The next few columns just describe or explain what the 82 consists of: 53 in-house funded loans, 19 SBA loans, and then those residual 10 small business resource loans that we made back during COVID times. We'd made 135 of those. 10 of those did not pay a portion of their loan. There's 33,000 in that principal outstanding on those 10. Of the in-house loans that our normal in-house loans that we fund, there's 8 of the 53, or I'm sorry, 8 of the 72, including the SBA, that are delinquent. A little over $1 million in principal outstanding on those 8 delinquent. Loans delinquent to loans outstanding is 11.11%. Principal delinquent to principal outstanding is a little under 10%. I also include, you can see how greatly the delinquency rate goes up when I put the 10 small business resource loans in there, goes up to 29%. But look over to the right, you'll see that putting in the principal outstanding, it changes it by 0.3%. So not a whole lot, because the principal outstanding on those 10 is not a whole lot. Delinquent or loans that you have written off. Sometime a long time ago, someone said, hey, you should be tracking this from a historical standpoint. So in 2001, I started tracking the loans that this board has written off. 89 loans that we've written off, 4 million in principal on those 89. We've collected 1.2 million in principal of the loans that we officially came to the board and wrote off. 21 of those were full payoffs, and we've collected a portion on another 20. So of the 89 that we've written off, we've actually gone back and collected from the borrowers. Some or all of the, we've collected some or all from 41 borrowers. So the net, if you will, write-off from March of 21, or of 01, I'm sorry, has been 68 loans and well under 3 million, 2.782 million in write-offs. The last line on the page is just our aging of the in-house loans and the SBA loans that are on the books. 8 that are delinquent and 64 that are current. Next page, just a financial statement. As I said, I'll point out the positive. If you start at the very bottom, that 108 is a negative fund balance. But if you look 2 lines above that, you see that we started the year at 122. So this year we cut into that. And as Zach's out there closing those SBA, all loans except CDBG loans, we do earn a closing fee on, so that's helpful. But the SBA is really helpful because you earn the closing fee and then you earn a monthly service fee, so it's an ongoing thing. It helps the bottom line. So that 108, you say, well, how are we able to do that? If you look over to the right, accounts payable SLDC of 170, that's why we're able to carry a negative fund balance. So we owe money to SLDC. They're able to carry us, and as we have the ability to pay, we will pay that 170 down, and that fund balance will go into the positive.
Do we ever pay that down, Chris?
Do we ever?
Yeah.
We have definitely paid toward it. No, it's been a long
we got
time.
52 in cash. Is that we need 52?
I don't want to strip us from cash, and if Charlie's not complaining, I'm not giving.
So we're not worried about it. They're not worried about it.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. Next 2 sheets is just the funds that we have in house. Very close to $4 million in cash sitting in my bank account, in our bank account. Prior to today, you had $350,000 in commitments out there. You made 2 commitments today, 300,000. So if everybody that's committed to right now comes to me and says, we want to close today, I'd write a check and I'd still have 3.3 million in dollars to lend out. That 3.3 is over on the next page. You'll see it's all congregated under the title EDA, First Bank, Metro, LC, LDC, RLF, UAL. Those are all loans that are in-house where the repayments come back to us. We hold on to those repayments, and then as new loans come along, we fund those. So we don't have to go to anybody as far as getting cash. We have the cash, we can write the check, and we can close the deal. There is that small money that we got from Downtown Parks probably 12 or 15 years ago. They went, the fund that they were operating, they said, we only got this much money. We can if we can get rid of this, we can go out of business, or we don't have to deal with it anymore. So they gave it to us. It's been sitting there, and Jim, I know you've given us a couple, or you gave me some years ago, you gave me an idea of help lighting Market Street, I think, with Christmas lights, but
yeah,
we do need to find a place for that. The last 3 sheets is just a picture of those 8 loans. Some are, the first three is block grant. The next are non-block grant, which are really all EDA, and one is a UEL loan. And then the third one, which I'd like to focus on, is the SBA portfolio, which are all current at this point. If there are any questions, I'm here and I'm ready to answer them.
I know we've been trying to get a meeting with Chris Goodson. Is that happening?
I need to follow up with him. We've haven't had a whole lot of time the last month. Our office was in the process of moving, but we will be trying to touch base with him. He was agreeable to a meeting before. So, Laura, would you like to attend that meeting as well, or?
I'm happy to do that if you think that will be helpful. I don't have a whole lot of patience with him, so you may want to do it without me for that reason, but I'm happy to be a part of it if you would like me to be.
We will contact him next week.
Okay, let's better weekdays. I thought they had something in the works that was going to help them out. We've not heard from them.
We've heard from them. I think the story has changed. What they had told us a couple months ago was they were waiting for a payment from a vendor. Now it sounds like they maybe have a different plan. I think we will have some sort of a proposal from them next week.
Okay. And then St. Louis Apparel, have they told us anything else? I mean, can't believe what they tell us.
No. Well, normally he at least gets back with me, but I haven't talked to him recently. I've left a couple messages. I'll try again tomorrow and see what's going on.
Yeah, see if Bill Seddons can give us some help, if nothing else. He tends to respond to Bill.
Right.
Maybe he could get some information on our behalf. Does anybody else have any questions about the financials or the delinquencies?
Nope.
Okay. Zach, will you update us on the 504 and other loan activity?
Sure. So currently right now we're sitting at 16 loans in our pipeline for the LDC. Kind of total of that at just about 6.5 million, and split pretty evenly between those that have either been that are in the approved status, waiting to close, and the open status that we're trying to get to you all for review. So with that, kind of the split with that, of those approved loans, it's 11, including those the 6 that Chris had mentioned for the revolving loan funds, with the remaining 5 as 504, with one of them having just come off with Seed Sprout Spoon, as Chris mentioned. And then we have a couple loans hopefully coming to you guys, 5 loans currently in the pipeline, that we hope to see here shortly. Any questions for anybody?
Questions for Zach? Thank you. Is there anything else to be brought before the board? If not, our next meeting is scheduled for Thursday, April the 11th, our regular meeting. If we need to have a special meeting to consider that subordination, then Linda will be getting with you to schedule that, and hopefully it would be a pretty quick one because we'll get the information ahead of time to look at and be able to do it that. If there's nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn?
So move. Sites.
Is there a second?
Second, Rabiu.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Okay.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you
Stay
all.
dry.
Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.